But it was fun.
That was really cool.
We actually did have a lot of fun with that. Like, that was a good little, the three of us just hanging out, doing photography, artwork type stuff.
Nerd stuff.
Yep. Because nobody was coming down that way, so we didn't have anything else to do.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Dirt Drive Podcast, your favorite podcast.
Do you want to start that over?
I'll try that again. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, the Dirt Drive Podcast. This week, we have again spun the wheel of Dirt Nerd. We are in a firehouse in my hometown.
What?
And we are joined by your favorite voice actor, PJ Pomada. Yeah, it's been a while since you've been on.
A little bit.
A little bit. Dude, it's been such the wheel of Dirt Nerd recently.
It's fine.
I don't know what the fuck is
I think it works
on.
out.
It does. No, it's fun.
Yeah.
It keeps it spicy.
I think that's what makes it fun.
Makes it stressful for me.
Nah.
This week we are finally, for you listeners, wrapping up our experience with the 24 hours.
Finally.
Yeah, our experience at 24 hours of Appalachia. Occasionally in the background you'll hear Clark County fire chatter because we are in a fire station. If we hear tones, we're also leaving.
No.
We're running calls.
No.
Okay, maybe not.
Jobs.
Jobs. Yeah, so we're wrapping up our 24 hours of Appalachia. We've had a lot of fun with it. We've kind of beaten you guys to death with it. An experience that I have yet to hear about is what PJ, Trevor, and AK did.
The media side.
Now,
we're not getting all of the media experience.
Because there was 3 other media teams.
3 or 4 that I can account for.
Yeah.
So you'll have to forgive me for all of the names.
Black Flag.
There was Black Flag. Didn't really get a chance to talk to them too much. And then there was, I want to say it was LB.
Yeah.
LB Media. That was Sam and
Carl. Sam and Carl were cool. They actually ended up camping with us the first night.
Yep.
Because it was 25 degrees and they were going to be in a tent. And we had a cabin with 11 beds and a wood stove.
Giggity.
which the wood stove did not get tended, and we were freezing our asses off by 3 a.m.
It worked out.
But we got to know Sam and Carl real well. No cuddling, but we got close.
And then I think there was one other media guy. He was an intern straight out of college. I don't remember what his name was.
WVU.
Yeah,
media team something.
I remember him introducing himself in the group chat meeting that we had prior, and he seemed pretty excited about it. I think he stuck around more so for the beginning of the race, and then I think someone ended up hanging out with him on the recovery end.
Okay.
So I'm sure he got some good experience and good shots just hanging out with the recovery team.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I've seen a bunch of pictures come out.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot more. I feel like those were like the pre-releases, like, hey, these are just some of the pictures I took. Get ready for like the 45-minute long YouTube video or whatever.
I know Sam and Carl got a ton of video, that
2 terabytes.
2 terabytes worth. So I'm sure they're still cranking away. I haven't had a chance to sit down and look at any of my stuff. I've edited like a handful here and there. Like the one I had from you with your beanie on. I got a couple of Freddy's done.
The builder sessions love that.
Yeah. I got a couple of Freddy's stuff done.
It's actually probably going to get featured in a magazine.
Ooh.
So.
Be a published photographer.
I know.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, what the hell is that name of that magazine? Sorry, guys. I forgot the name of the magazine you guys partner with. It's Cruise Cultural. Cruise Cultural Magazine. It's a
keep an eye on that.
Canadian magazine. They still do print.
Nice.
So which is awesome.
I need to get a copy of that.
I need to subscribe to them because they do. It's Canadian local stuff.
Yeah.
But still, culture is car culture.
That's still awesome.
and they're new.
Yeah.
The magazine is new within the last. I think they're on like 20. This is their 24th edition.
Up and coming.
So I think they're every other month. So like 3 years old ish.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, it's a brand new magazine. And I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine if I don't end up being published, but whatever.
It'd be cool.
It'd be cool. I'd have to get a copy of it, frame it.
Oh yeah, of course.
I know Black Flag, like before we even left the hotel, they were already cranking out the albums.
Dude, that's so much work.
Well, they left early.
Oh, true. But
I don't know why, but I honestly don't blame them because
they didn't want to do the full 24.
Yeah, they didn't want to stick around, which I don't think anybody would blame them.
Which they were flying a drone and
Yeah,
they were real early on the course.
yeah.
Like we saw you guys leaving because you guys were right there, and then we went up the first trail and they were sitting on like a perch.
I saw their a couple of the photos. I could make out where they were on the route, and I was like, "Damn, that was a good spot." And then there was one photo of people going over this concrete bridge somewhere.
Dude, it's such a blur to me.
But
still.
it was one of those. Oh, dude, that's a cool shot. Where the hell was that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember the shot. I don't remember where that was.
Yeah, but
I remember seeing the
they
pictures.
got some pretty good stuff. There was some good panning shots that they got at night.
One that I was impressed by, and that I didn't think I would be, is he had that like 2010-ish F-250, and he did a mirror shot. So he took a picture of the cars coming up the trail, the reflection from his mirror. That was a cool shot.
Yeah. That was something I was trying to think of doing because you were very limited with night shots.
Yeah.
So you had to get a little creative. Like Sam and Carl and them, it sounded like they did a little bit with the flares, or they were successful with a little bit of it, I guess. That was my plan. I only had one flare, but by the time we had gotten to
the point
where we were at the New River Gorge, it was like, do I use it here? Nah.
Well, also, I was talking to AK, and AK's like, we got to the River Gorge, and we waited for like 45 minutes to an hour, and nobody showed up.
One UTV passed by us, but we ended up figuring out, I think it was like the next day, it was like...
You guys were there a few hours early?
Not really. I mean, we were, but it was more of the irony of, I think it was like 10, 20 minutes after we had left.
The pack came
People
through.
started rolling through, and it was like, fuck.
Yeah.
But
we missed all of the media except for at the beginning and at the end because we were running so far behind.
It was also a very long route.
A very long route.
It's hard to catch people.
Well, and the spread of finishers from 9 a.m. 8 a.m.
Yeah.
24 hours is 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. to, I think the last one probably crossed at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
It's a long spread, a lot of people out on the trails.
Yeah. It's, from a media standpoint, it's a lot easier to not necessarily pre-run the course, but like the media is allowed to go on the course before anything happens typically for like, the Ultra 4 races and all that stuff, and you can
get there a good position,
kind of get a good position. You can see where they're going to be coming up and be like, ooh, that's a good spot. Ooh, that's a good spot. And you can just kind of like post up wherever you want. And it's also a short course.
Yeah.
It's kind of like King of the Hammers, like the race I did at
is that Reading?
Famous Reading. It was set up similar to King of the Hammers.
Yeah. Yeah, the
where it was the short course up front, and you would catch people doing the jumps and
that's how
going
it was
through
when
the
I
line,
went
and then
the summer.
All of the rest of the route was up and through the woods, and
there was still media positions up there too.
You would
but
have
it's such
to
a short
walk
course
there.
that such a short course, not generally short. It was like 10 miles.
Yeah.
So that you could be positioned there, and every few minutes you'd have an opportunity to do stuff.
And then
I think that the summer route that Jed is planning, since it's going to be a loop, it's going to be easier for media to do their thing, because you could start here, then literally just cut the loop.
Yeah. I think that
and then position yourself at the back of the pack, or at the.
That was the hardest part for us, at least. Like, if it was a media team comprised of a bunch of people from that area,
Yeah.
they would know the ins and outs.
Well,
They'd be able to get around so much
The
easier.
other problem is from that area is the whole state of West Virginia.
Yes.
Because it was huge.
Yes. And then there's the aspect of the vehicles for the media team too, because like my truck is capable, but
Yeah.
it's not meant to do that.
Yeah, you guys were. I mean, you guys rode with us for a little bit, and you
Yeah.
guys were.
We were getting
cruising
beat. We were
at your own little
getting beat up.
pace. Yeah, yeah, and we were going slow with that section.
I know.
We picked up the pace a lot from that. So
But I think the biggest deciding factor for me to be like, all right, enough of the trails is I've done it in my Jeep, and it was nowhere near as brutal.
yeah.
So doing it in my truck, I was like, God damn.
Well, that's why as soon as we got back to the hotel, before I even showered, I did a full shakedown of the Jeep.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, we just beat the piss out of this thing for 26 and a half hours.
Yeah, I kind of raw dogged my truck. I didn't do anything. All I did was change the tire pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a full shakedown. And I'm like, dude, we just beat the shit out of this thing. Oh, I mean, all I did was tie rods, ball joints. And
Yeah, I'm sure.
and make sure none of my paint pen marks moved.
I'm sure something's messed up because I don't even know what's been changed over the course of, 10, 15 years at this point? Is it 2014?
That's 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it's a stock truck with lift on it. It's got, what is it?
Subframe.
Spacers and
Subframe's
subframe
been
drop.
cut. Spacers, which I need to get rid of. That's part of the reason why it was such a bumpy fucking ride. It's got like a 4 or 5 inch puck strut spacer.
The sketchy rough country puck.
Ugh, it's so horrible. I have to like put my hand over the fender well when I'm walking up to it, like
So you don't see the grossness?
It's so gross.
With the factory strut.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Still haven't figured out what kind of lift it is. I know it's all white parts, but I
It was
don't
probably
know.
painted. Someone probably painted it to match the truck.
No, like the strut is white, the rear shock is white, but it has a blue boot. And then
weird.
there's no part numbers on the subframe pieces in the skid plate. Like I've looked,
Weird.
like rolled underneath, like, poked my head in and out of the subframe drop and everything, and I can't find any part numbers. It's weird. I've tried to like look up Rocky Ridge's like specs for that specific year and model. No idea.
That's the problem.
The closest thing I've come to is Pro Comp.
Yeah, it's the problem that people always talk about is with buying modified vehicles. You never know what the parts are that you're buying.
Well, the intent is to replace all that crap anyways.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Tons first.
Yes.
I watched the XJ today for the first time in 2 years, and it's actually white again in my driveway.
I had to wash my truck a couple days ago because I left all of the 24
media?
hours mud on there for at least 3
Dude,
days.
that shit turned into concrete.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it was
solidified.
We went to...
There's still a bunch of shit in the fender well.
We went to the car wash after...
Yeah, I should have done it right after.
What was the name of the barbecue place we went to?
Barnyard Barbecue.
Barnyard Barbecue. We went to the car wash right after with Freddie. You may have seen Freddie's video of him pressure washing his Jeep. We also pressure washed our Jeep.
Yeah, I should have done that.
But today I spent 4 hours detailing it. I sprayed all the fender wells out, sprayed all of the underbody out, wheel brush.
I didn't go that far. I was going to EMT the other night, and I was leaning in to my truck to put my stuff in there, and the uniform's all covered in mud. I was like, I guess it's time to wash this.
See, I got shit from my wife. My wife's like, I cannot drive this like this, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'll wash it. So we went to Rural King today and bought all the other car wash stuff.
Yep.
Shout out to Mothers. Mothers has great car wash.
Mothers, hell yeah, brothers.
Yeah, we used Mother's car wash. Clean that shit right up.
Yep. And the truck did pretty good. I'm still eager to see the videos that everybody got of me doing the little creek crossing.
Dude, it's gonna be forever till we see that.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm so impressed with these guys that got videos turned out in 3-4 days, because I know how much work that is.
Oh yeah.
I did a shitty 13-minute video of me working on my shed.
Yeah.
That I recorded in a few hours, and it took me 3 weeks to turn around.
Yep.
It's so impressive when these guys can bust out these videos like that.
That's why I want to get an iPad so I can, like, on the way back from West Virginia, I could have been knocking them out on my iPad. But AK and I were talking about it. You know, there's a certain way you could probably format my laptop to make it
The screen
the screen resolution the same as an iPad, because I've noticed when I edit them on my laptop and post it, it'll look different when I look at it on my phone. And I'm like, that's not how that came out on my phone.
Yeah, because this is like the glass.
Yeah, it's
Glass
I don't know
screen,
what
and
it is.
This computer's like the LCD, whatever.
But I got to figure that out. It's also a lot easier to do it on an iPad half the time.
I mean, I have an old iPad. You can borrow it whenever you want.
I also need an iPad for drawing too, so
That's
it's
fair.
kind of two birds with one stone.
Get a pen.
Yep.
Pen makes a big difference.
Yep. So
I just had a question. I forgot. Tell me about the rest of your experience, PJ.
think
Think
of your question while I'm
you gotta
talking.
think. You gotta think.
It wasn't bad.
Oh, how did so my biggest concern with the truck is, since it was your truck and you were the main media guy, did you end up driving the whole time, or did you guys switch out pretty regularly so you guys could stop and get pictures? After you guys left us, where did you guys go?
We went up to. It was the first little section that was still like somebody's dirt road.
Okay.
It was all that like really deep red mud, and there was a bunch of waterfalls.
Okay.
It was just before you get to the top of that mountain, and there was that farmhouse like right at the top, and it was like you could look straight out over top of the mountains.
I think I know what you're talking about.
We were on that stretch first,
And waiting for everyone ripped by you. You gotta go.
and I think we got the Subaru guys and a couple of the other Jeeps, and then nobody else started to come through. So we were like, all right. And I had like 85 miles left to go on my tank of gas.
Oof.
We were trying to get AK to do drone stuff. He needs to warm up a little bit on his drone operation, but it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that he's I love you, AK.
Yeah, we love you, AK. We were... we may not have told you this story yet.
I've heard a lot of stories.
We were at the starting line, and...
Oh, he did tell me that story.
Oh, how we were like, hey, Tim and Freddie are up. Get ready. And because he had the drone going.
Yeah.
And Freddie went, and then you went. And
No,
then
we went before Freddie.
Did you?
Yeah, we were 49. Freddie was 57.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's right. Never mind. But we're having him get ready because he walked ahead of us. So he was like, I don't know, maybe a half a mile away from us at that point, flying the drone like close to where the bridge was. And then once you guys were gone, we were like, all right, okay, let's go. He's like, it's hard not to do it with his accent.
Do it.
I thought we were waiting for Tim and Freddie. We were like, no, they're already gone. What? What do you mean? And he started freaking out. We were like, AK, we physically told you while we were standing right next to you that they were coming up soon and get ready. And he was just all flustered from there, but we were just laughing because both of us had video and photo evidence of them leaving. So it was like, AK, we're not fucking with you. They're already gone.
So what he told me was he was setting up and doing practice shots.
Oh, he was?
Just vehicles driving by. And he was recording the whole time. So during his practice shots, without recognizing it, our Jeep was one of his practice shots, and he didn't realize that until afterwards when he was looking at the footage.
AK was in another planet that whole
Dude, he's
weekend.
always in another planet. He had just like all of us. I think he was more blinded than the rest of us without any idea what to expect.
Yeah, his intentions were still there, but I don't think he was prepared.
Yeah.
We love you, buddy.
Love you to death.
Next time. But it was cool. I enjoyed getting to see him use the drones because outside of Freddie's videos on Facebook, I've never really seen anybody use one.
I would love to get one and mess with it.
Yeah, I still want to get one. Like my plan was to get his small one for that event, but it was fine. Freddie got one. AK said he was going to bring both of his, so I was like, all right.
He only brought one of his?
Who?
AK?
AK? No, he brought both.
Oh, he brought both of them?
Yeah, he brought the small DJI Mini and then the DJI 3, the big one.
Yeah, it was crazy because we were in the parking lot beforehand staging, and everyone had a DJI Mini.
Yep.
Everyone had
It's popular.
one. There was some cool shots. I expected it because we had all these glorious plans of stopping on the trail, making coffee, doing all these cool things.
Yeah.
And we didn't do any of it. Freddie wanted to stop a whole lot more. Originally, stop a whole lot more and get drone footage. And he shot drone footage once on that whole trip.
There was a lot of plans that were squashed.
When we realized what actually was going to happen.
It was like, yeah, this is going to be, oh shit, all right, we need to go.
Yeah, just like Hellbenders. We didn't get our burritos.
Yeah, I still feel bad that Freddie didn't get.
You guys got your burritos. Yeah. We did not get our burritos.
See, I feel bad because if we had known it was going to be that long of a wait by the time you guys got there, we would have. It was also the fact of not having any signal either. Like we could have ordered for you guys ahead of time. That way we just have it at the truck. You guys could just eat and go.
Because that was our biggest holdup the whole event. That was like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
we were in Davis, which it was great. It all
worked out.
It was like a morale boost. Like after the first 3 hours, we got to hang out with you guys, eat some good food, kind of get to know Yuri a little bit. Yuri was a good dude. That was the first time we actually really stopped and talked to Yuri. I gave him a radio at one, just like we stopped quick, and I just threw one of the ruggeds at him so we could talk on our own little channel. But that was the first time we got to know Yuri. But that was our biggest holdup. Yeah. Because that was an hour and 15 minutes that would have brought us, if we wouldn't have stopped there, I think that would have changed the whole trajectory of our trip.
Oh, yeah.
Because then we ended up catching up with Mike. We ended up bouncing around with the Red Gladiator. We were with the XJ. So everyone had different fuel schedules. Yeah. And since we were in our own little, we were in a group. We stuck to a group. We got fuel so many times.
We missed that entire turn when we first left the starting line.
So he just went straight on the highway?
We went straight down, what is it, 55 and 28? Yeah. Because when it's spanned out, it's hard to really make it out, and then the map kept glitching, so we made it down like 28 and 55.
Did you download the route?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have CarPlay in your truck?
No.
CarPlay makes a huge difference.
I definitely want to switch out my head unit for CarPlay.
So the only thing I'll say is we found out Fake Dave's name. It's Rick.
Are we still calling him Fake Dave?
We're still calling him Fake Dave. So that was Tom's thing. Is we were on the trail, having a great time, bouncing down the road, and we were just we were just riding with them. It was just us and Fake Dave's Gladiator. Yep. So we didn't have to call names. We didn't have to call to the Gladiator. We were just calling back and forth, talking. And at some point, Tom's like, we should really get this guy's name. I feel like his name was Dave. And I'm like, so we're going to call him Fake Dave because we don't know his name. God, where was I going with this story? Oh, so what had to happen was, I think I may have said this.
What happened with
last week with Freddie. Mm-hmm. Gaia was great. Gaia also sucked. Yeah. It uses so much battery that the phone overheats. And it doesn't communicate with CarPlay. You need to connect and reconnect.
Are you using your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Oh, because it's an Android.
My phone was perfectly fine.
No, it's just because it was also plugged in the whole time and trying to communicate with CarPlay.
I mean, mine was plugged in too.
Oh, maybe it's just the Android.
And I had the music going.
Yeah.
What now?
What now? Maybe it's the Android. Maybe I do need a switch.
Maybe.
Listen, man. Yeah, I was really impressed.
We didn't have too many problems. I don't know why exactly. I think it was the phone trying to catch up with us. Was more the problem, because I don't know if it was a signal thing either, because if it's downloaded, you don't really have to deal with it.
No.
But we would reach certain sections and it would glitch, and then we would jump to wherever we were, and it was like, whoa. Yeah. But other than that, it was fine. Because we jumped around a lot. Once we got to Davis.
You guys were with us after Davis.
Yeah, we followed you guys for a little bit. I don't know what trail section we were on when we were behind you. And then obviously after that, once we found the main road, we were kind of just hit it up to Fayetteville, I think. Yeah, we went from
Fayetteville is New River Gorge.
Yeah. Because we went into Fayetteville first.
Okay.
And then we went back to New River Gorge. Like, we drove over the bridge.
Oh, shit, okay.
Hung out at the gas station for a little bit, fueled up, used
Yeah, that was a good
that.
gas station. That was a pre-planned gas station on the stop that Jed had obviously thought of.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, everyone gave me shit for fuel.
Yeah.
But my fuel pre-planning had us set up really well with our huge group of, like, 8 Jeeps we were running with.
Yeah.
It worked really well because people needed fuel at different stops. So someone's like, hey, I need fuel. When's the next fuel? I'd fuck around on my guy and be like, hey, we have fuel in 25 miles. That may be an hour. But if you're like 30 miles, nobody got down that low, I don't think. The Red Gladiator got close often.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my pre-planned fuel stops that I actually called the gas stations ahead of time too to see what time they were open till worked really well.
Yeah. The one...
But then Tom also proved me wrong that we didn't need that many fuel stops because when we got fuel at New River Gorge, we continued the rest of the 8 hours without getting fuel.
Yeah.
So we did 200 some odd miles without getting fuel.
Yeah. Mine ranges to 345, 350-ish. And
I didn't expect the range that the Jeep told me to also work with the off-road range because the idling time, I imagine, would take more fuel than the mileage.
Yeah, I haven't experienced the idle mileage before because we had sit somewhere with the truck just running so we would keep warm, and then what was it? I think we were leaving New River Gorge and it was like the gas mileage like plummeted, and I was like, the fuck? And Trevor's like, yeah, it's because it's been idling. I was like, I never sit in my truck, so I've never experienced that before.
Yeah, I did security in my younger years for a company, and they couldn't give me a company car one night, so I had to do security in my truck. It was the middle of winter, so I would idle it
on off
because I was realizing it was using like a half a tank an hour, not like a quarter tank an hour. I'm like, I'm gonna run it for like 15 minutes, get it real warm, and then I'm going to shut it off for 45 minutes.
My truck did pretty good, though. I mean, I think I filled up, let's see, filled up the night before we left, filled up in somewhere, I don't even remember where.
Did you get fuel with us in Davis?
No.
Okay.
We stopped just before Davis, because I had like 85 miles left to go. So we found whatever rinky-dink, gas station was on the way there. And then after Davis, we drove to Fayetteville, and then that's when I filled up.
Okay.
But I still had like 175 miles to go at that point.
Yeah.
So it was working.
A lot of fuel.
But it was good, though, because it was a 2-hour drive from Davis to Fayetteville.
Did you guys enjoy all of your half-gallon of iced coffee that I made?
I didn't drink any of it.
Really?
It was in the cooler. Like we barely reached into the cooler.
Tom legitimately drank all of it.
Yeah.
I had 2 Mountain Dews the whole time in my smelling salts.
Yep.
And that shit kept me wired.
So the other part of that was we had so much shit in the truck, and every time we stopped, it would get rearranged.
Yep.
And we couldn't find anything. So well, I think we lost at least 3 Celsius in the cooler from just bouncing around in the trails.
Oh, and they just popped?
Popped, punctured, like, because we got to Point Pleasant, and I reached in there just for a drink because I couldn't find my water bottle. And I grabbed one, and it was empty. And I was like, who the fuck threw an empty one in here? And I squeezed it, and there was still liquid in it. And I was like, God damn. But yeah, because all we had was the beer from the night before that we snagged from the shop.
Yeah.
The Celsius is Celsius, plural, and then I bought a gallon of water at Yoakum's.
We got
just to fill our water bottles.
The big 5, or not 5. It was the 2.5 gallon juggies thing that you can buy. I usually bring those camping. Tom and I drank through 2.5 gallons of water over.
Because we were going through.
26 hours.
I was going through water too, and then Trevor didn't feel good on the second morning, and
yeah. What happened where he lost his voice?
he started. I think his nose started running. I was just staying up late.
Yeah.
His nose started running, and it was, post-nasal drip, and then his sore throat started, and
Just the exhaustion.
yeah. So I was trying to take care of him as best I could. Felt bad.
EMT.
Because, what was
PJ.
it? The night that we left, the night after Davis is when he got sick. Because
So the overnight driving
the overnight
section.
drive, because he was handling Gaia for the majority of it, and then once he was sick, he was just like
Useless.
I'm done.
Well, and AK was probably asleep too. What time did AK fall asleep
AK
that
slept the most of it. But AK drove us. I think he drove after New River Gorge, because that's when Trevor started to go downhill.
The pictures that I saw of the bridge at night were cool.
Yeah, I mean, I had to edit the fuck out of them
To be
because
able
it was
to,
so dark. If we had a spotlight, like a big spotlight,
like a light bar,
we could have,
illuminated
the bridge enough to get it a little bit brighter.
So you're
and make
probably
it easier,
probably
but-
focusing with your exposure a lot just to get
Yeah.
the stars in the sky in the
Yep.
background.
But it was fun.
That was really cool.
We actually did have a lot of fun with that. Like, that was a good little, the three of us just hanging out, doing photography, artwork type stuff.
Nerd stuff.
Yep. Because nobody was coming down that way, so we didn't have
Just
anything else
messing
to
around.
do.
Yeah, I would love to. I want to go. Obviously, New River Gorge is on my places to go.
Yeah.
I want to drive under it again at during the daytime.
I don't think you can. There's no section of that road that goes directly underneath of it.
Well, the section that we drove.
It is, but you can't really see it.
That's fine. I still want to do it again in daylight.
Because we were looking at it on the map, and of course it was pitch black outside, so it was like it's above us. But
It's mostly not seeing that because the bridge is cool. It's seeing the gorge,
yes,
being
Yes.
on the river and seeing the gorge in daylight.
I would like to see it in the daytime just to get a good overall feel of it. But
That, and then I know I named the last episode as Where is Thurmond, West Virginia.
where in the world is Thurmond, West Virginia?
As much as that little town freaked me the fuck out,
Yeah, we didn't go through there.
It has become my Roman Empire. I cannot stop thinking about Thurmond, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go back through there in the daylight and actually explore. I think it's like the most popular ghost town in West Virginia. It's got 5 full-time residents.
That's it?
That's it.
What the fuck?
5 full-time residents. The town is owned by the National Park Service. Yep. It's part of the New River Gorge National Park is that town.
Oh.
So, I would love to go back and see that. Is there anything you'd like to go back and see? I guess yeah. Is there anything you'd like to go back and see?
There was a couple spots. I wouldn't mind going back to Davis and spending a day there.
Yeah.
Maybe not a full day, but because I'm sure there's not a day's worth of stuff to do there.
There was it seemed like there was a lot of dual sport people there.
Yeah, because
a
West
lot of
Virginia,
motorcyclers.
you can legally drive UTVs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as long as you do what's required to make them street
to make them
but-
legal. But yeah, it seems like from the guy we were talking to in the sandwich shop, which I cannot for the life of me remember the name of, he thought we were on motorcycles. He's like, "Oh, you guys are off-roading
The sport bikes.
He's like, yeah. What type of bikes are you guys riding? Oh, we're not in bikes. He's like, what are you guys on? He's like, you didn't expect us to be in Jeeps. But yeah, I'm actually going back to Davis. My plan is to go back to Davis in a few weeks. So me and my wife are going to Yoakum's. She just got back from Vegas for 14 days from work. So we're going to do a little cabin weekend at Yoakum's and stay in the cabin that Freddie was in. And then there was on the Canadian loop that we did, there was a snow tubing and sledding area that was opened. So we're going to go back and I want to go snow tubing and sledding and then go to Davis and actually get hellbenders and actually get burritos.
Burritos.
And other than that, I'm going to sit in a quiet cabin and read the whole weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to Canaan Valley and actually going like snowboarding. And my dad's done, what was it? 24 hours of snowshoe.
Oh, that's cool.
Mountain bike. Yeah.
On a mountain bike?
On a mountain bike.
That's brutal.
Uh-huh.
That's brutal. Is snowshoe up in Canaan?
It's close to it, I want to say.
There was a lot of snow activity up there though. Like,
yeah,
like the whole
Canaan and Snowshoe are both like resorts, so to speak.
I know they were very high elevation.
Let me see, because I could tell you how close they are. Snowshoe Mountain.
We definitely passed right by Snowshoe at one point.
You can definitely see it. Yeah, because Cheat Mountain, Mace Knob, Cass, Dunmore, Green Bank.
Peach is just naming towns in West Virginia right now.
Because I'm trying to see where. Doesn't say. Lexington. We went through there. Waynesboro, Harrisburg, Shenandoah. Yeah, Snowshoe. Doesn't say.
I know we went right by Snowshoe. I could probably find it on my Gaia.
Yeah.
I know they're close. Like not as the crow flies. Like highway driving, I think from Davis to Snowshoe is probably an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, Canaan is in Davis.
Yep.
Snowshoe.
It's like near Hillsboro. If I remember.
Hold on.
Hillsboro, West Virginia, that is.
Let's do this.
PJ is Googling.
Google the Googles.
The Googas. The Googans.
I can do a route. How's that?
Even better.
Snowshoe.
I'm surprised you have service here.
2 bars.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. They're 2 hours apart.
2 hours apart. There you go. So I was
so
pretty much right on.
Canaan Valley Resort is Davis, and then Snowshoe is. Let's see what's close by. Durbin.
Okay.
And Cass.
Yeah. Okay. So Cass. Yeah. So I think that's right near Hillsboro.
Yep. You go through Elkins, technically, to go up towards Canaan Valley.
And I've never. Did you? So we were actually talking about this yesterday too. Do you ski or snowboard? Snowboard.
Lauren.
I think
skis.
Everyone in our group skis or snowboard. Like all the dirt nerds ski or snowboard.
I haven't been a long time, but I still have a snowboard.
Yeah, I do too.
I got sized while we were out in Colorado.
Oh, recently?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because there's not really like a specific ski snowboard shop around here that like does legitimate sizing.
Alpine Ski Shop in Sterling is a legitimate ski snowboard shop, and they're actually really awesome. It's surprising that they're right by Sterling Mowers, right on Church and Sterling.
Davis Drive?
Yeah, Davis. Yep. Right now, you had like the Buffalo Wild Wings, the
B-dubs.
They're a really good ski shop. I enjoy them a lot. I haven't
been in there.
When I did all of my when I used to do all of my young man skiing and snowboarding on the East Coast.
I was a young man.
When I was a young lad, which legitimately was. I was like 18. It was like
so 2 months ago.
No, that was
'Cause you're what?
13 years ago.
How old are you?
Like 17, 18 years. I turned 30 this year.
Jesus Christ.
I'm an old man. Old man. You're also an old man.
I'm only 3 years older than you.
That's all right. We should definitely do a ski trip though, because I've experienced Liberty, Whitetail, and Round Top, which are like good mountains, but they're like the shittiest mountains on the East Coast. I would say they're better than Massanutten.
I think I've done Whitetail.
Whitetail was really good. Whitetail is at an elevation of like 13, 1,400 feet.
Virginia?
No, it's Maryland. No, it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I went on like some church trip to a ski resort when I was younger.
You had your cool pastor name like Rex or something.
No, because I was wearing Pantera shirts.
So you had a cool pastor. You had a cool youth pastor.
No,
No,
I just went to be cool, hang out with people.
Scope the
Hail Satan.
scope the cute church girls and go snowboarding.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we definitely want to do a ski snowboard trip soon, especially with her parents living so close to Breckenridge and all them.
It's amazing out there. Colorado is legitimately a different experience.
Yes, it's a different type of ski snowboard.
I never skied Breck. I skied Vail, and I skied Beaver Creek, and I skied one more. Beaver Creek was an amazing ski resort. It was like bougie as fuck though.
Bougie.
So you guys gonna do the July event? I'm out of the July for BOA for the 24 hours.
I'd have to check everything out first. I haven't even had time to think since I've been back.
Would you try and run it as a participant or as a media guy?
It depends on when I would have time to fix the Jeep to run it as a participant.
Well, you're gonna be trying to be toned up by then too, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to be double toned up.
Double toned up on Tuesday, just like Mothman, double cheeked up.
The shiny hiney.
Shiny hiney Mothman.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing media again. It was fun. I definitely think there would be better ways to do it, as all things, because
A little more pre-planning.
first run at things is always a little rocky, but it's to be expected. If there was more people, it would be a lot easier. Like they had a good thing going with the recovery teams where it was like when they knew everyone was past that certain point, that recovery guy would just kind of fall in, and then they would just kind of,
Well, that's where we were running. Is we were in the back of the pack. We started 49 out of, I think it was 68 vehicles.
Yeah.
We got passed by a ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
We stopped for lunch forever.
Yep.
And then we ended up running in the back with 4 recovery people.
Yep.
So we had Mike, we had Fake Dave, we had the Blue XJ, and then we had the Comanche, which the Comanche was part of the event, but they were also running recovery.
Yeah, we were behind him and the white XJ just before Davis, because we were following them for a little ways, and then it was like, all right, if they take this loop, we know they're going on the main route. So they took the loop, and we were like, all right, let's go into Davis, because it gave us a waypoint of how long it was going to take them to come around.
Okay.
Because you guys were still behind us at that point. But it was good. Like, I think if they had a better, or not better, but bigger outreach to media teams that not necessarily would want to volunteer, but if they even wanted to pay people to do it,
Yeah.
I think they would have to do something like their recovery team, where they would have teams just kind of stationed along the route, and then do the same thing where they just kind of fall in.
And then everyone shares media together.
Everyone shares media
have
together.
One production team put it together.
Like have a team of 2 or 3, maybe one dude
it seems like that. I don't know. From talking to Carl, Sam, and Jed, the production of the July event is going to be so much bigger.
Yeah,
they've got they got so many big ideas for how they're going to produce and how they're going to compile all that media.
Because I don't really do much with video. Like I know I can, but I don't have the setup for it.
So much work.
It's a lot of work. Like it's fun. Like I don't mind doing B-roll. Like I can get cool shots. I'm just not set up for it, and I haven't really messed with video editing software either. So like when I would do the trips with Angel, I would just give him my stuff to edit, because like I said, I don't really do much video.
Yeah. Yeah, I use what is it? I can't remember the name of the software I use. Oh well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it is completely free. Is it Black Magic? It's not Black Magic. I can't remember. It's completely free, and there's a ton of tutorials for it.
Yeah.
So I use it every week for the YouTube video.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not hard to pick up. It's kind of like editing photos. You get into a groove. You figure out what you like as far as the end goal and what you want it to look like, and then you figure out the little tips and tricks to like sync everything together and just make the videos how you want, and that way you can just backtrack every time you do another one.
The hard thing for me is because I messed with it a little bit. It was like the Lightroom aspect is getting all of the light levels in each video to look the same, so the video looked excellent.
Yep.
Because I can put together a video, but like getting the light levels equal, that was tough for me to figure out, and I never figured it. I kind of gave up. I've kind of settled back into I'm just going to do the podcast and kind of lay off the video for a little bit.
I'm such a nerd sometimes. Like I'll watch like documentaries of musicians. Like they'll have some dude doing media for them, and they'll do like how it's made or the making of certain albums, and I'll sit there and nerd out about how well they did the video. Like, ooh, that's a cool shot. Like.
I do the same thing. So a lot of the videos I've been watching on YouTube are just like, I mean, they're pretty much B-roll. It's like bushcraft and like overlanding, but it's like there's a little bit of voiceover, but it's just a shot. Like that's such a cool shot.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what's actually going on. It's just a cool shot, a cool visual.
Like the shit. Half the drone shots that you get in some of these overland videos are so easy to fucking do, and it's like it's 2 minutes worth of video
based off of what Freddie and AK's videos are that we've seen. It's like those are such cool steady shots.
That's all you need.
You just need the money up front to be able to buy the equipment to get the cool shot. I'm excited to see how the gimbal video turned out.
Yeah,
because Tom did some gimbal video, Freddie did some gimbal video. In that, with that and being stabilized, should be cool and like a nice steady shot.
I mean, if I had the budget and just like an unlimited means of acquiring, cool gear,
shit.
I'd have the military grade like suction cup camera to the door, and
that's what
Carl
has. Carl has that.
Yeah, doing like rolling shots out of the bed of the truck.
Yeah, I screwed that up because you're like at the hotel on the night before. You're like, hey, on the way home, I want to get some B-roll rolling shots.
And you said,
and
deuces.
I fucking dipped in the morning. How was breakfast? Did you guys get fucking biscuits and porn or whatever it was?
Biscuits and porn.
That's a name of a breakfast.
There were biscuits, but there was no porn.
Biscuits and porn is a name of like an actual restaurant.
Yeah, it's in like North Carolina, South Carolina. Yeah. It's a southern thing. Biscuit World. We went to Biscuit World. It was pretty good.
Was it?
And we were just laughing at the Wendy's across the street that wasn't even open yet. Oh, thank you.
I forgot we're in the firehouse.
Just letting. Thank you. Just letting us know that they're here.
Yep.
The Wendy's next door or across the street that was like big sticker in the window that was like, we serve breakfast from 10 a.m. to 1, and it was like Biscuit World closes at like 2 or something like that. I don't know.
You got French toast sticks?
Yes. There was some pretty good stuff there. But
yeah, I made that decision earlier. I'm like, I want to get up, I want to get home. I don't want to lollygag at fucking Biscuit World.
Yeah. I mean,
and I powered home. I did it. It was 5.5 hours home with a stop for fuel and another stop for breakfast.
Yep.
I did it in 5 hours and 40 minutes.
I think I drove the majority. I think I drove like for the first 4 hours, and I think Trevor drove because we made it to Winchester. Like we passed, what is it? The Shawnee Springs place.
Okay.
We passed by there, stopped at the Sheets, and then Trevor drove to the shop, and then I drove home.
How much time did you guys spend at the shop?
Not too long.
Because it was probably pretty late. You got to the shop like 3?
We got there, and Trevor was like, well, he's sick, so he dipped out like as soon as we got there.
Yeah.
Tom and AK hung out for a little bit, and then I unloaded all my stuff and their stuff. Devin and Mariah were there, and they just kind of hung out, and I went home.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to work out like that because after I left Point Pleasant, Galapagos, Ohio.
Galapagos, Ohio.
I left there. What a fucking wild town. I left there, which we were on the outskirts of Galapagos, Ohio. Like that was not the main town. The main town was like 10 minutes further south down the road. So that little shitty area we saw with the Quality Inn was not Galapagos, Ohio.
Yeah, that's where my laptop charger is coming from right now.
Your laptop charger and someone's glasses.
AK's glasses.
But yeah, once I saw where we were, how far it was home, I'm like, if we actually leave here, because it was 8 o'clock when I woke up, so I left at like 8:15.
Yeah.
Tom wasn't out of bed yet. I imagine you guys didn't leave the hotel until 9.
Yeah, we stayed in.
And then after breakfast, it was probably 10 by the time you left the area.
Yeah, I don't even know.
So yeah, 5.5 hours from home then is you probably got to the shop at 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yep. And
then just balled out.
Yeah, because when I got home, I unloaded, changed, cleaned up.
With the EMT.
Yeah. They were like, aren't you supposed to be in EMT tonight? I was like, I guess so.
I've got no mental capacity, but we'll see what happens.
It worked out. I just showed up for like the last 3 hours and just did all my sign-in stuff and then dipped out.
Well,
EMT is fun.
EMT is fun. I just redid my EMT. I've had my EMT for 8 years now.
Oh, lucky you.
8 years.
Lucky you.
I just redid all my CEUs. Huge shout out to all of our partners that helped us with this event. Rocktrix, Gearhead Coffee, Adams Driveshaft, OVS. Who else? I'm probably missing a few.
DirtNerds Motors.
DirtNerds Motors, yes. Thank you so much, Tom, for giving me lift time to get the Jeep together and give me lift time whenever I can get up there to re-inspect and check out how the AMSOIL, we use AMSOIL at the shop, right?
AMSOIL.
So Tom wants to drain both diffs since I'm an idiot and I didn't shift out of 4-wheel drive a lot. So we're going to drain both diffs and he wants to see how the AMSOIL held up after legitimately like 700 miles of abuse.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. Thank you, Tom.
Shout out Onyx Off-Road and Gaia.
Yeah, that huge help.
Wouldn't have been able to make it home if we didn't have either of those apps.
But yeah, check out all of our cool partners. Use code DirtDrive at Gearhead. I'm trying to get Gearhead set up. At Adams, at Rocktrix.
Mm-hmm. Soon to be Yankum Ropes too.
Oh, you applied?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
So we'll have an affiliate with them too.
Nice. They have good stuff. Rhino helped me out with a set of tracks. They were officially the recovery boards. They were officially not a sponsor, but I used my code and they gave me a little more for my recovery boards that I did not use, but I still had.
We had a bunch of their gear anyways.
Yeah, I like their gear.
I had all of their tie down straps.
Yeah, I need to get those back from you, don't I?
They're in the truck.
Okay, I'll grab those.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you to all of our partners. Thank you to all of our listeners who support all of our partners because they support us.
Yeah.
We get to do cool things.
Support the support that supports us.
Yes. Thank you for supporting those who support the sport, as Miles says.
The support.
The support sport. We will be coming back at you guys with a bunch more content. Hopefully we can get the crew together again at some point. I know the next 2 episodes are more Wheel of Dirt Nerd. And then we probably won't be back in the studio for a while. The studio being Tom's basement.
Live from Tom's basement.
But yeah, thanks for hanging in. If you guys have any ideas, someone sent me a waypoint and they're like, hey, this is a cool spot. We were giving out stickers at the event. They put 2 of our stickers up on a fire tower and like, hey, you guys need to come record from here. Yep. So send us coordinates.
Yeah. If you guys have stickers or just coordinates in general, send it our way. We'll find it and record podcasts in those locations.
That's so cool. I literally never thought about that. I've been asking for like episodes.
It can't be anything ridiculous like the literal top of a building.
Yeah,
but
send a picture of you there. A cool overlanding off-roady spot where we
keep it off-road.
Yeah, keep it off-road.
No cities.
Where we can go record a podcast.
Unless
because I legitimately never thought of that.
Yeah, it's a cool bit.
It is a cool bit.
I love it. And we haven't even done it, and I love it.
With the Wheel of Dirt Nerd, because that is what it is. I'm going to start doing a like a Wheel of Fortune clicky sound at the beginning of every episode. I should do that. This week on the Dirt Drive podcast, we spin the wheel of Dirt Nerd. Bankrupt. Send us coordinates. We want to go to cool places and record. And if we choose your coordinate, I might shoot you a message if you have
free
a
T-shirt,
cool enough story. Yeah, T-shirt, sticker. I might even ask you to come record with us.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We're always down for more ideas and more fun things.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you for PJ for coming and join me. We're gonna go get beers now.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening and thank you for supporting us and supporting those who support the sport.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and go follow me.
Yeah, go follow PJ. Oh yeah, that's another thing. PJ, where can people find you? You're on here so often. We don't need to do plugs for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
No.
If we get new listeners, we got to plug ourselves.
At PJ Pomada Photography.
_Jeep_guy 602 and PJ_Pomada_photography.
Yes.
On Instagram.
And you guys know where to find us. DirtNerdsOffroad.com, The Dirt Drive on The Dirt Drive everywhere social. Dirt Nerds Off-Road everywhere social, and Dirt Nerds Motors everywhere social.
Yep.
Find us on YouTube. We are releasing podcasts every week. I need to start releasing the podcast up to date with the audio platforms, because now that I'm doing everything on my video editing app, it's all ready at the same time. I'm just a week behind on YouTube because I've changed the way I do things. So hopefully YouTube will be up to date and on the same schedule as audio platforms. We're just getting the production stuff now. What else would you guys like to know about how I produce this show?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably nothing. We're going to leave and go get beers. Follow PJ. Follow us.
Yeah.
Support our sponsors.
Help us do cool things.
So we
can give you cool things to, listen to and watch.
Yeah. DirtNerdsOffroad.com.
Okay, bye.
Bye.